on this crazy, crazy day here. Just a second. Let me click some buttons. Let's see if that's working. That's working here. Okay. Are we up and running? I think so. Okay. All right. Again, great big good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, thank you for being here. All right. Let's just shrink that up. Okay. What a crazy day. Geez, today's gonna be something. It really is. So here's a spy. Let's see, we have sound, everything working. Okay. Um, here's a spy here, and here we're crashing down through the 50 period moving average right here. So for me, it's just follow the trend. I don't think it's wise to predict too far out, although that's exactly what we do. All traders predict. Um, but I don't know that I would predict too far out. I would think about this, follow the market. Let's see here. I need to do this. Sorry, follow the market and or follow the trend. And the trend that I'm going to follow, everybody knows it. If somebody doesn't know it, it's these green and red dots right here. You can see long green, we get choppy, then we get green again. Right now, we're kind of in chop. I know it seems like bears everywhere, but I think we're more than anything, we're in chop here. We are below the 50 period moving average right now. Let's see what happens at the close. Important levels to consider. Let's put this up. Is going to be simply look at the lows. So we're going to look at the low here of the 7th, and then we're going to come over here and look at the lows right there around the 13th. Yeah, I guess that'd be the 12th, 14th right there. So we're going to look at those lows. This low also is about where the 50% pullback line is if we take from the low of August 1st to the highs up here. So that is very possible to get down to 652.95. The one thing that I would caution on, I know for myself, for caution is don't chase. Don't get excited and say, man, the market is all bearish, so you're just going to run into bearish charts. If they're set up properly, okay, but I wouldn't chase them. If there's some hot stock that's fallen that you're hearing about, if it's already down 10, 15%, I wouldn't, I would wait for the pullback up and then look for the trade for a short. For instance, take the SPY right here. If you think it's going to move down to this 660.85 level, we're talking 0.5%. Let it go. Let it go. Don't chase it. Don't chase it, because there's a low right there. What do you think the chances are we bounce from that level? Just a little. And I'm not talking about like a bullish big time bounce. But what if we bounce? Well, you're going to freak out. You're going to sell it, and you're going to lose that money. And then more than likely, it's going to turn around and come down some more. So don't chase. Find the charts that set up. Maybe we have a couple here for you. So anyway, I would expect a little blood in the streets today. To give you some idea of blood in the streets, I wake up this morning and I'm in Walmart, and come to find out the CEO of Walmart is retiring in January. And evidently that's, as soon as it was announced this morning, the stock just dumped. So, I mean, talking about blood in the streets. Well, what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to roll it out longer. I'll have to figure out how much time I have on it. And I'm going to use this as a buying opportunity is what I'm going to do. I mean, if I end up closing this out, I'm just totally out the money, period. And Walmart is what I call a champion company. They're gonna live and weather through a whole lot of crap that might be thrown its way. I'm not worried about that. So rather than just dump it, I'll just roll it out longer and become a longer term trader in it. I mean, it's like I say, it's a champion company. So, I mean, what a great way to wake up this morning to this, right? So, anyway, let's go look at the cues here. The cues are breaking down through that 50 period moving average. Important levels we're going to consider right there. It's really simple. And then we're going to come over here, and I would probably put a line right there at 595.70. And then we're going to have this big old ugly black candle over here at 598. Just follow the trend. When we hit these levels, watch for possible rallies, little rallies, and that could offer a shorting opportunity when it starts to move up and you see the price action or the candlestick start to fail. That might offer a nice entry for a short level or short trade here. IWM, that old guy is headed, or girl, whatever you want to call her, looks to me like it's headed lower. And that right there might be a nice short. IWM down to the what we call the dotted deuce. It's a modified 200 period moving average, and that gives you about 3% on that trade, or down to the 200 that gives you 5.7. There's another way to trade this that I like to trade it, and that's with TZA. So here's TZA. Now, this is not one that I'm going to chase. I'm going to wait for a little rest, and all stocks gives us a rest. So let it give us a rest. Let's make sure the market is actually going to pull down lower, and then it will be set up like this. There we go, set up like that, and then we can look for that buy signal on TZA. I haven't traded this actually in a long time, but once upon a time, this is one of my favorite charts to trade when the market is moving down right here. This can pay well. And just from where it is right now to the modified 200 or dotted deuce, that's almost 16%. So nice little trade here. While we're here, let's just take a look at SQQ, one more Q. There we go. So if you're looking to short the Qs, you might take a look at SQQQ. If one, some people don't like to short, some people can't short. So if you want to go long, but yet you kind of secretly want to short, but you like longs better, maybe, well, take a look at SQQQ. That's starting to set up here. And if the market moves down more, Qs move down more, then what's going to happen is this is going to pop up. Again, be careful not to chase, because I will guarantee you this will pull back and give opportunity. Once the dots move over the 50 period moving average along with the 8 EMA, the black line, that creates a chart pattern that we call the rounded bottom breakout, and that is a money making chart pattern. So we'll keep our eyes on that. I want to go to the diamonds here because I mentioned this in the trading room yesterday near the close. Let me real fast. The SPY, we're down to the 50 period moving average. Qs, we're down to the 50 period moving average. Diamonds, we are not down to the 50 period moving average. Now, I know a lot of old timers here that's been trading. You've seen this where say in this case the SPY and the Qs are down to the 50 period moving average and diamonds are not. Well, the diamonds need to get there. The diamonds are going there, and the SPY and the Qs will just kind of walk around, go down further, come up, go down further, just sort of walk around and wait for the diamonds to get there. Once the diamonds get there, now that's where we could see a little bit of a turnaround. And when I say get there, I don't mean necessarily stop right at the 50. I mean, if we go right down to this low here of a week ago, 496, 465, Um, that could absolutely happen. And then I see where we could actually drop down to 462. We'll call it that way. Okay. So number one, careful not to chase. Number two, don't forget cash is a position for those that are having trouble. Okay. Cash is a position. Um, let's see. Let's run through. Take a look at Apple. I'm still holding my Apple. Um, and so, here's the situation. Here's what every trader kind of faces. Say you're in Apple. Is Apple starting to fail? Do you need to close out of it? Is it hitting your stop? I mean, if you have a plan, trade your plan. But this market pulling back, is this a full-fledged bearish market? Are we seriously going to get bearish? Everything start going below the 50 period, the indices below the 50 period moving average. Are we going to head to the 200 period moving average? See, that's something you gotta think about. Emma, I'm like you. I don't think so either. I just don't think so. We could be wrong. We could be the only two people in the world that think that it's not, and we could be wrong, and we could be right. But if we're right, then stocks like Apple, a champion, is likely to come back. So this might be a buying opportunity. So I've got a question today whether I'm going to close it or not, which I'm leaning to not at this point, leaning to not, and I'm underwater on it now. Um, but if it moves back, this just might be a buying opportunity. So these are just things you have to think about. Sorry, I may have gotten off track here. Um, and Microsoft looks like it's moving lower. The likely target to me is going to be that red dotted line right there. And we've over the years, and I do mean the years, I've proved that that is a very strong, that is very viable. It is a very important line on your chart, and I'll take that bet all day long right here that Microsoft's going to move down to here, and then we'll watch the price action. Are we going to continue down? Again, stay with the trend. Take a look at the Microsoft trend. Just look at those red dots. That's what the trend is doing. So I'm going to assume that trend will continue until it does not continue, until it changes. So until price comes back over that trend, that's what I'm going to be looking at. Meta. So Meta's moving down. I actually think Meta is starting to become a buying opportunity in this area right there. And that's the 500 period moving average. And that's what I'm going to be watching for on Meta. Look at the trend. Let's make that a little bigger. Look at the trend on Meta. Blue trend. Just look at those red dots. There's the trend. Let it keep falling. And right in that area right there is what I'm seeing as a possible buying opportunity. Now, so is that a slam dunk buy? No, it's not. I just know that line, by the way, that's just the 500 period moving average. I'm a big moving average user for those that don't know, a big one. So I look at moving averages as support, resistance, buying opportunities, selling opportunities. So when we get down there, I'm going to look at this as a buying opportunity until proven wrong. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to buy it right away. I'm going to want the chart to make a bullish pattern. One that it could be is a low to a high to a higher low to a higher high. Breakout, that would be a bullish pattern. Bullish W patterns, inverted head and shoulders, rounded bottoms, things like that. That's what I'm going to wait for. But that right there just might be a buying opportunity. Amazon, if you're short, watch that 50 period moving average. Sweet trade if you are, nice target right there. The transports, doggone transports were doing so good, and now they've pulled back. Well, okay, but they're right here, right? So let's just wait and see what they do. Let's don't get too excited. We're right at that 50 period moving average. That's a known support area. It's a known bounce area. Let's just see what they do. Of course, if they do fall below, then that's trouble for the market, no doubt about it. Especially if SMH continues to the downside, which you can see is at the 50 period moving average right now. Right here, right there, if we take the lows of September and the highs, that right there is, this is like my sweet spot whenever I draw these lines like this. That is like my main mark that I'm going to look at. And to me, I would say that's where we're headed. If we don't make it all the way there and we start to turn around, okay, that's fine. But right now, I would say that's where we're headed. And this is one of those cases where I wouldn't chase right here. We're already down. And what do you have? A couple percent down here. And while this area here, this 327 might not hold it, I'll bet you $1. I'll bet you a hamburger somewhere that we get a bounce off that level. So this is where, be a little careful chasing. We get down here, and if you are going to chase, think about profits, because with that little bounce up, well, now you've just lost some money out there, and closed it out, because that candle, because if that starts to move up, we're going to see something like that. And that's going to, in your mind, it's like, oh, hey, we've got some reversal going on here where it moves up, you close it out, you get long, and then it just continues down. So this is where sometimes it takes time. For any new traders out there, it takes time to learn some of the ins and outs of trading. Take this chart, SMH. It doesn't matter whether it's SMH or any chart. When we come down, it's not going to be just a straight move up, and it's never a straight move. Well, it can be a pretty big straight move down, and then it'll bounce like that. But what happens is it has to build a bottom in here. So just because, let's say here, let's say we come in here and we put a hammer in, all right? Well, you're still going to have to build a bottom here. It just doesn't go up. So now that we're down, it's going to take a week to build a bottom before we start moving up, assuming it starts moving up, okay? Hey, good morning, Ricardo. So, I don't know, right now is one of these times going to be kind of tough. Going to be tough for a while. And then we've got Thanksgiving coming, and that's going to cause a little slowdown. NVIDIA has earnings, I believe it's Wednesday next week. I'll tell you what, that's a make or break for the market. It really could be a make or break. So be warned about that. So, start preparing now. Prepare now. If you are, hey, it's going to be great earnings, well, prepare that way. If you think it's going to be bad earnings, prepare that way. If you don't know what the hell to do, think about cash. That is a great position to be in. Because NVIDIA could be a make or break for the market. Google here, that looks like a short. Where do you think the logical place is? 50 period moving average. Extremely logical, extremely important moving average to get down to. So on Google, I could see that as a short, maybe, getting into it. And if it closed back up over the trend indicator there, then might not want it. But if Google was to find a little love somewhere and pop up, that just might be a great shorting opportunity. And see if that doesn't bring you right back down to that 50 period moving average. So Google's one I would look at for a short here. Tesla looks to me like it's headed down lower. I'm looking at the dotted deuce right there, or the modified 200 period moving average. And then you've got the 200 below it. I'm personally in TSLL short, and there we are right now. There's a 100, there's a 200% chance I'm closing that out today. Take my money, walk away, be happy. It's Friday, and go fishing, something like that. Anyway, that's working out. All right, let's look at some charts. Let's see, what do I have here? Oh, let's look at UVXY. So UVXY, if we just take the highs and the lows, that gives us our 50% retracement back up line. And that's where we are right now. And that's where we failed last time. And if you look over here, look at the candles that came up to it. Look over here. The candles came right up to it. So this is kind of an important line. So the question is, are we going to blow through that today and hold, or are the buyers going to come in to the market and kind of peel us back a little bit? So I would keep an eye on that right in there. We already looked at SQQ and TZA. Take a look at SPSX. If you're thinking about shorting the market, shorting the SPY, and again, you don't, for whatever reason, it could be because it's too expensive. Well, this might be an opportunity for you right here. Anything below the 50 period moving average, I would question that trade. We need to be above the 50, stay above the 50 to keep that trade on, in my opinion. And that's because I think overall the buyers are going to step in. Maybe not today, but I do believe the buyers are going to step in a little bit. UPS. I almost bought UPS yesterday. I almost bought it the day before. We've been talking about buying it. I know some people in the trading room have bought it. I now am getting serious about UPS. I think that's opportunity. So I'll be looking at UPS possibly as a buy today. If I don't buy it today, I'm going to be hot on its tracks Monday. My buy zone is going to be pretty much the high today down to the trend indicator there. That'll be my buy zone. I would prefer it to stay right up here, buy it here and then go up, but let's keep an eye on it. But UPS is on that list. Merck is another one that I've been chasing around, waiting for it to set up. Well, here Merck has pulled back, so I'll start thinking about Merck. I don't know if it's pulled back enough yet for me. Yeah, I don't know if it's pulled back enough, but I'm certainly got my eyes on it. PFE is another one that has pulled back enough for me. So right in here is going to be my buy zone. Now, I can't say that I'm going to buy it today, but the pullback here certainly is making me want this. And I'm looking for this and Merck for a little bit of a longer term hold. When I buy the options, I'll buy them way into next year on these stocks. Take a look at net. Net right now, if we're following the trend, the next mark to the downside is going to be the dotted deuce right there, followed by the 200 period moving average. This thing has been down a little too much. I'd watch. My idea, my plan is to watch for a bounce back up and then short it and then move to the downside. If I miss it, I miss it. Take a look at SCO here. SCO might be nearing a buy area around the 50 period moving average. I'll be watching that one near the 50. Now, again, it's not something that, hey, we hit the 50, I'm going to buy it. No, because after a move down like this, when something harsh, something a little bit ugly, a clear top in here, well, we're going to need to see a bottom created. So it might take a week, might take 2 weeks, might take 3 weeks before the bottom is actually in. But if you're not watching them, if you don't have, like everybody in the trading room watching it, eyes on it, and thank you, by the way, you might miss stocks like that. AMD might be wanting to pull back a little bit. This might be a little bit of a short to the downside. While AMD is just sort of in this, you can see that, you can just visually see that downtrend there. If it does start back up, AMD is going to be a buy. Anything below the green dots, if they turn red, that's a short. First target is going to be that low of 225.10, and then after that I would look at the 50 period moving average. Take a look at Intel. That's right there at a possible buy area. So a little bit lower, it may move lower. Watch what it does around this area. If it does fail, then Intel is a great short, and it's on my short list. Carry that short down to the 500 period moving average of about 15% trade on that. So I'll be watching this for a short, but because it's at the 50, I'm also watching for, well, are the buyers going to step in? I'll keep an eye on it. Here's one that I've been chasing. This one here, we had a 53% gain, a recent trade here. I was looking for a buy in this area. It never gave it to me. Here we've pulled back. I love it even more now. If you liked Rivian, and I did, I liked Rivian here several times during the day, but it just never really gave me the buy signal. You should love Rivian down here, and I love Rivian down here. It's lower, it's better, a better entry. So I'm going to be shopping for this one big time. Probably not buy it today, not at all, but I'm sure going to be taking a look at it. All right, oh, I've got one more, and then AG. AG might be a short here. Blue ice failure. See if that doesn't come back down to 1020. AG back over 13 would be a buy, but right now it's looking like a short. All right, if anyone has any trades you want to look at, let's do that. Hey, Hot Stocks, how are you? You're looking at SOUN long. Well, you know what? I would put it on my long list, but I would absolutely need to see a buy signal here. So if we just take from this low to this high, I mean, if I'm shopping for this long right now, that would be my sweet spot target. That's what I would really like to see. I don't see a buy signal here. I can see where you might be seeing, and maybe a lot of other people are seeing, there might be support here. But you know, my feeling about support, it's an imaginary line that people hope. It's a hope line is what it is. So could it be long? Absolutely. But aren't we going to need to see something that says buyers are stepping in? And because of I mean, that's talking about a waterfall to the downside. I would suspect that it's going to have to put a bottom in. So I'm definitely going to put this on my watch list. Absolutely. So thank you for pointing this out. But I'm going to have to wait till I see buyers step in. So say you and I, we're the only two people in the world trading. You go ahead. You go ahead. Let me see what you do with this. And when I see that you're serious, I'm going to tuck my little tail in right behind you, and then we're both going to run it up. And since I'm a profit taker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak out of this thing with a nice profit, and you'll be holding it the whole bag. Okay? No, but you see what I mean? Let's let buyers get in there. But I love your idea. I think it's terrific. So thank you very much for that. Okay. Let's see where I lost my place. Oh, there we are. A DLO. Let's take a look at DLO. And DLO long. Well, I'm going to have to say the same thing all over. Let's wait for that buy signal. I see the possible. No, I'm afraid I don't really. Yeah, I don't see a long right now. I see the dotted deuce. I see the 500. I see the 200, and I see my trend indicator trending down right now. I see. I mean, a double bottom. Maybe that's what you're looking at right there. Yeah, I see more choppy, more weakness perhaps. But when it really comes down to it, I'm going to need to see the buyers come in. I want to see buyers. So let's take, how do we trade a bullish engulf, right? So let's just say today we get a bullish engulf. I'm still not going to buy it. Well, it depends what the overall market does. But what we want to do is the bullish engulf is a signal that buyers are stepping in. But what we want is follow through. So if we start to see follow through, let's make that bigger. See follow through, bang, that's where I want to get in, because now I know there's a lot of other traders getting in. And that follow through will carry until it starts hitting some resistance. Rather than guessing a buy, wait for the signal, wait for the follow through. Okay. And that's a buy for a lot of people. So buy or wait, and then buy, make money, just like that. I love both of these. So thank you so much. Let's see what else we have. Okay, I think that's it there. Anybody else? Here's one that I bought yesterday, Disney. This is going to be a longer term hold for me. I bought Disney. I'm not worried about it. I bought it right here on the 500 period move, well, a little higher, but that's the moving average I'm using. So as long as we hang above that, I'm cool and okay. I might even add to this if it starts to get a little bit bullish. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Well, oh, open. Take a look at open. Open might be an opportunity here. Low, high, higher low. Um, let's take this at, well, let's just move this over to here. There we go. So we take the low, we take the high, we've pulled right back to that 50% mark. That is a beautiful buy area. So I'll be shopping for open in this area, and that will be my stop area as well, around that 740 right in there. All righty. If there is nothing else, I would want to say thank you to everybody. Just a second, I need to check something over here. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. And feel free to join us in the trading room. Uh, all righty. Good morning again. Good trading to everybody. Make sure those stops are in there. Make sure that you're taking profits when you need to take profits. All right. Okay. You guys take care. Thank you very much. Members, we'll see you at the bottom of the hour when the market opens up. Appreciate everybody being here at 8:30 Eastern in the morning. All righty. Later.